What's up, guys? So I'm here. I'm going to give you 5 things that I wish I did differently in my first marathon, and those 5 things are really easy to fix. Something that if you did them, it wouldn't take a lot of effort, and they can make a huge improvement in your performance. All right, starting off with the first mistake that I made, it has to do with the preparation for the marathon. I didn't do any weight training for this. That was probably the biggest mistake that I made. What it caused me to do is by mile 20, my legs were in so much pain that it was very, very tempting to walk the rest of the way. I actually did have to stop and walk just because my leg muscles were just shutting down. So the first thing that I would do differently is I would go back and I would do a bunch of weight training specifically for my legs. I heard people say this online and talk about this. I didn't believe them. I thought it would be enough just just to do the running, and maybe I would gain leg muscle that way. But the thing is, you gain cardio way quicker than you're going to gain muscle. Gaining muscle just takes so much longer. So if you're looking to do your first marathon, I would start with the weight training ASAP. Okay, the second mistake that I made has to do with my attire. So I wore shorts and a t-shirt, and that was fine. I had gloves on because I didn't want my hands to be too cold in the beginning, and I was actually able to leave them on the whole time. That wasn't a problem. But when I first started the race, it was 5 o'clock in the morning, and the shorts and the t-shirt were not cutting it. I was so cold, and the reason why this is a bad thing is what it led me to do was when the race first started, even though I was trying not to, I was running way faster than I should be for how early it was. And I think that affected me later. That's because I was trying to warm myself up. What I would do differently is you can go to Walmart or maybe online, get some super cheap clothes. I'm not telling you to buy something expensive at all. And just get a little pullover sweatshirt that you can wear. Boom, wear it for the first couple miles or however long you need it. I happen to live in Southern California, so it's probably a lot warmer here than anywhere else. And then what you can do is you can just ditch it. A lot of places are cool with that. You can go to the nearest aid station, just take off the sweatshirt, drop it off right there, or even throw it in the trash. You know, don't worry about being wasteful. You can get this stuff for like $5 or less from Walmart. If you have someone that's there watching you, even better, you can probably just hand it off to them. That's best case scenario. But the thing is, at all costs, don't do what I did. Don't go out there just in shorts and a t-shirt at 5 in the morning when it's super cold. Again, since I did this in Long Beach. I'm guessing a lot of you aren't as fortunate as me and don't live in Southern California where the weather's so nice all the time. So, yeah, I'd watch out for that. Alright, the third mistake that I made has to do with pace. Now, this is probably directly linked to my previous mistake of attire. Now, like I said, since I was cold, I started running faster in the beginning, and that's a huge mistake because I ended up getting way more gassed than I would have normally been in the second half of the marathon. Now, I know this because I actually ran 24 miles during my training. I know that's not necessarily recommended to do that, but it ended up being fine for me. I didn't have any kind of injuries or anything. So I ran 24 miles, and I never had any kind of problems with my cardio when I did that. And I continued to train more. So, I mean, it's hard to exactly prove why I was more fatigued towards the end of the race. But I personally believe that one of these reasons was because of my pace in the beginning. Now, the reason why I had such a high pace in the beginning, aside from how cold it was, is I was trying to keep up with everyone else. That's just an illusion. You don't know where everyone's going to be 10 miles, 20 miles later, right? So at the beginning, I kind of got nervous because people were starting to pass me up, and I was going at my nice steady pace that I'm used to doing in my training. And I got emotional, maybe subconsciously, and I wanted to pass them, and I did. But then some of those guys passed me later on. So just something to keep in mind. Don't worry where everyone else is. Go at the pace that you know you can be comfortable with. Alright, the fourth mistake that I made isn't so much a mistake as it is a tip. and something I would do differently is I would get a running partner to go with me. It seems obvious, but I mean, it would have been so much more beneficial. You need someone that can run at the same pace as you. There's no point in getting a partner that's way more experienced than you, and because you're not going to run with them. And if you try to run with them, you're just going to make my previous mistake of having too high of a pace. So get someone, if this is your first marathon, find someone else that's interested in doing a marathon, encourage them, maybe they'll do it with you, then you guys get a win-win out of it. It just helps to have someone to talk to while you're running, because you're going to get bored. Your brain is going to get fatigued just like your body is. So that's something to keep in mind for sure. Last but not least, mistake number 5 is the course. Now this is a big one. Like I said, I did mine in Long Beach, and Long Beach is a very beautiful place. I did it by the marina. That was nice. There was water. The mistake I made was this course had 6 laps to complete the marathon. That was horrible. I was hating myself and thinking of how stupid a decision that was on the 3rd lap, and it only got worse. Try to do a marathon that doesn't do laps. And if you do have to do laps, let's say you're doing the marathon by yourself and you don't have any other means of picking your stuff up, I get it, but 6 is too many. I would do 4 or less. Actually, a lot of marathons, they have some kind of a service where you can leave your stuff and check it in with someone, and they'll actually transport it somewhere. You might have to pay for that, but that is a service that a lot of these races do provide you. So yeah, don't end up doing any kind of laps like I did, because that gets boring very quickly. Alright, so that's it for today. Those are the mistakes I made. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you're not going to make the same mistakes that I did. Try not to be intimidated by this list. Remember, I know it can be a lot sometimes to think about, but even though I made these mistakes, I still finished my marathon. It wasn't that bad. I would actually do it again, and you get a great feeling when you finish it. So don't be discouraged. Just keep these things in mind, try to prepare for them, but don't stress too much about them. So if you're looking to do your first marathon, just go for it. You won't regret it. You'll have a good time, and that's it.